Good evening, I'm Kyle Dennis. Thanks for joining us for MyCougarNews. In tonight's top story, we hear from local Charlestonians angry over Carnival's continuing refusal to pay attention to environmental and health concerns caused by its ships. Emily Taylor and Holland Dodds have the story.
Carnival cruises have been under national scrutiny recently, but the debate surrounding Carnival has been going on for several years now in Charleston, South Carolina. There is a Carnival port located in Charleston Harbor in the historical downtown region, and the presence of this port has caused many locals to point out environmental problems downtown, like air pollution, caused by Carnival's ship, the Fantasy. Still, many businesses like the cruise port for its economic boost.
Every time the Fantasy is here for that 10-hour period, even if they're burning the cleanest fuel available, the sulfur dioxide that's coming from that stack is the equivalent to 34,000 trucks idling at the same time.
But the environmental issues don't end with air pollution. Water pollution caused by cruise ships is another concern in Charleston.
What we found through one of our lawsuits is that they have been discharging some pollutants already closer than 12 miles.
In addition to these environmental problems, doctors have proven that the benzene rings, or crude oil burned by Carnival Fantasy, may cause health problems to the downtown population. Dr. Baldwin notes that benzene rings are among the most cancer-causing materials on the earth.
And they cause chromosomal damage, leading to various leukemias, bone marrow failure syndromes, liver tumors, and lung cancer.
While some do not mind the cruise port due to its economic benefits, a group of locals founded Charleston Communities for Cruise Control in order to take action against these issues and educate people on the problems that unregulated cruise ships can cause. But this organization isn't seeking to do away with the cruise port. They just want regulation.
We know that Charleston is a port city. We have no problems with cruise ships coming. They've been coming for decades.
However, this organization feels that as a historic city, Charleston deserves respect and regulation, and so they've created flags and billboards to garner attention.
You say that come to Charleston to leave for your cruise. It's a great historic city. Then treat us like one, and they don't.
In fact, Carnival hasn't even responded to their questions or requests.
We've sent them 8 letters, all registered, certified, return receipt. We know they've received them.
Additionally, many historic Charleston homeowners feel the negative effects of constant cruise noise and traffic.
And then one day I went home from the office and was wanting to sit out and enjoy my garden, and I could hear the announcements from the cruise ship in my backyard.
Many locals also feel that the cruise ship detracts from the waterfront view.
One day when I was having lunch upstairs at the Art Institute, and I looked out the window and a cruise ship was in town. You couldn't see anything but the cruise ship.
Currently, 9 acres of downtown waterfront property is used for cruise passenger parking, and many people are unhappy about this. The Carnival port in Charleston has caused environmental and health issues, and Charleston residents are demanding regulation and answers in hopes that Carnival will be cooperative. Reporting from MyCougarNews, this is Holland Dodds.
Well, the local environment will get a boost thanks to new water refill stations and a bike share program at the College of Charleston. Isabella DiVincenzo, Jeremy Suggs, and Whitney Sternberg take us on campus for Sustainability Week.
Sustainability initiatives here at the College of Charleston have become much more progressive in the past years thanks to clubs on campus and the introduction of the Office of Sustainability.
But still, students don't seem to know much about what it means to be sustainable.
Keeping the earth healthy. Recycling. I have no idea.
Sustainability, I would probably say, is being as efficient and effective with the amount of waste that you produce.
This is the second annual Sustainability Week hosted by the College's Office of Sustainability, taking place from April 8th to the 11th.
It's Sustainability Week here at the College of Charleston, with such initiatives as the trash audit, as you can see to my left, farmers market, and food pickup.
A trash audit was conducted by APE to show what could have been kept out of the landfill. According to Hetrick, president of APE, by sorting trash in Cougar Mall, APE is able to show 95% of the material collected could be diverted from the landfill.
College of Charleston has implemented a new sustainability initiative by placing water bottle refill stations in 6 different locations, with 2 new coming this upcoming summer, 6th Greenway and Silicox Gym.
The water bottle refill stations on campus reduce waste by reusing water bottles instead of buying disposable ones. CFC's newest initiative for sustainability is the Bike Share Group.
I feel like a lot of people would, just because, I don't know, it kind of cuts down on people who feel like they need to drive places and then they strength and stuff like that, but if you bike, it's like easily like, so I think it would.
I didn't even know about that. It sounds exciting.
Though CFC students may not know what sustainability is, the concept seems to be catching on. For MyCougarNews, I'm Isabella with Jeremy and Whitney.
While bikers are getting more support at the College of Charleston, skateboarders are still fighting for their rights to the downtown streets. Darcy Fritch and Lauren Garrity give us the latest on new city regulations.
Many College of Charleston students use skateboarding as their primary source of transportation to and from classes. But that can be a problem since skateboarders are not allowed to travel on roads where the speed limit is more than 25 miles per hour.
This past October, skaters met with Councilman Mike Seekins about how the laws regarding skateboarding downtown are unfair and unclear.
Unless you carry around a zoning map, it can be difficult to know where those commercial and school areas are. Charleston Jr. Cameron Spell discusses his experience with law enforcement and skateboarding rules downtown.
I got stopped on Cummings Street for skateboarding. Cops just rolled up because I was in oncoming traffic.
Skateboarders say there is an issue of communication between law enforcement and the skateboarders about where they can board.
A lot of those areas that are off limits are some of the better spots, and it just doesn't make sense. They try to zone you off or prohibit you from skating certain areas when it's kind of impossible, because no matter what, you're going to be skating through an area.
Legal or not, many of the boarders think the whole idea of restricting them to certain areas is both a bad idea and an infringement.
The city considers skateboarders pedestrians, and at the same time, that makes it illegal for us to ride in the road, but if we ride on a sidewalk, there's lots of other hazards like hitting people or like patches of gravel, so it's almost more dangerous to ride in the actual sidewalk than it is in the road, just like a biker has to ride in the road. So
many skateboarders also think the police and public target them.
When it comes to like destroying your spot, defacing property, there's really not much of that going on. It's just more, it's made a bigger deal than it actually is. And there's a select few people that might could ruin it for the whole group. So that's why it's sectioned off.
Skateboarders often get a bad rap from those who don't understand their lifestyle. But so far, that isn't stopping these skateboarders from commuting or playing on their roads.
For MyCougarNews, I'm Darcy Fritch with Lauren Garrity.
Thanks to the great weather and good city organization, the 36th annual Cooper River Bridge Run was a huge success. Courtney Alexander and Colleen Burdett have the story.
Eager participants flock to Charleston, South Carolina for the world-famous Cooper River Bridge Run every April. More than 31,000 runners were greeted with clear skies and ideal conditions for this year's race on April 6th. Most agreed it was a perfect race day.
It was a little cold this morning, but once I got going, it was fine.
The race began with an early start in Mount Pleasant and ended here in downtown Charleston.
I was really winded. I didn't know if I was going to finish for a little bit, but it was so rewarding when I came across the bridge, got into downtown Charleston. I got that second win they always talk about.
I thought it was cool, like the bands and stuff, you know, on the actual bridge. That was pretty cool. Everyone was like cheering, kind of pushing each other through.
More than just a race, the Bridge Run weekend has become the biggest destination event of the year for Charleston. From traffic routes to food to placing the porta potties, all of it takes an immense amount of planning.
It's all planned out on a big city level, and then they just staff all the intersections with officers and tell us which way they want to go.
It's an experience. You're there with like 40,000 other people, and it's really cool.
An average run time for the 6.2-mile race is a little over an hour, but first place runners came in at just under 30 minutes.
We don't know what our time. We think an hour and a half. It wasn't that long quick. Well, maybe a little less. It was kind of hard to run the whole time. 59 minutes, just under an hour.
At the Finish Festival, there was excitement in the air and good spirits all around, making the ending quite the party. From downtown Charleston, this is Courtney Alexander and Colleen Burdett reporting for MyCougarNews.
We all love our coffee, hot or cold, but does the weather actually affect coffee preferences? Angela Muhammad and Lexi Ryder tell us why it should.
With free Wi-Fi, new technology, and comfy lounging, coffee shops are a common place to be for students at the College of Charleston. When it's cold outside, coffee drinkers typically prefer ordering hot, comforting drinks, all in an effort to stay warm. So it's no wonder those hot caffeinated drinks have been in good supply, because this spring, Charleston has seen record low temperatures more fitting for January. But meteorologist Kyle Dennis says we should see a warming trend over the next few weeks.
We'll see temperatures back in the 70s, maybe even above average by a few degrees coming up here over the next couple of weeks. So as we move through the month of April, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more sunshine, temperatures in the 80s, so it should be pretty nice.
And with the forecast like that, you might think it's time to forego that hot cup of joe for a nice one.
So do you drink cold coffee even when it's cold outside?
Sometimes if I'm thirsty, but if I'm just want something to warm me up, I'll drink hot coffee.
I guess it just depends. Probably not, just because, you know, when it's hot outside, I want a cold drink.
Because it's colder, so it's more, I don't know. I just immediately want something cold when it's hot.
When it's cold outside, a lot of our customers do order more hot drinks, just like when it's warm, you can get more iced drinks. There's always kind of exceptions to that, but generally that's the thing.
But researchers at the University of Ottawa found that consuming hot drinks on hot days actually helps cool you down. Hot drinks add heat to your body, and this heat makes you sweat more, causing your body temperature to cool more quickly.
Well, I've always ordered a hot cup of coffee or tea. It didn't really matter about the weather. It never really affected my preference.
Regardless of the weather, my coffee is my inspiration in the morning to get through the day. And it doesn't hurt to add 4 shots of espresso in it.
So as the warm summer weather approaches the Low Country, make sure to order a hot cup of coffee to cool you down. For MyCougarNews, I'm Angela Muhammad with Lexi Ryder.
And finally tonight, should the College of Charleston put an end to smoking on campus? Officials are hoping to ban tobacco use across campus, with a proposal being considered this month. Brittany Harris and Annalise Baker-Whitcomb have the story.
College of Charleston faculty members are attempting to ban all tobacco use on campus, but so far there's been a lot of resistance.
The college already has designated smoking areas, but few students and faculty know where they are, and enforcement seems minimal. While there has been significant support from the student body for the ban, some students think the policy is too extreme.
I think it kind of restricts students and faculty's rights to do a legal activity on campus. I mean, it's not technically illegal. There's no outdoors on campus. There's no reason to ban students' rights.
I feel like that's a bad idea. I feel like people should be able to smoke cigarettes if they want to. They should just try and implement the more smoking section, and if somebody's not in the section, then somebody should tell them that.
The ban applies to all students, faculty, staff, and visitors, and states that individuals on campus should not have any tobacco odor on them.
Well, the students supported it overwhelmingly so, and the faculty supported the initiative. There was just concern over the enforcement. How would it be enforced, and what would geographically comprise the campus? So how did we define the campus?
Whether they support it or not, some students are unsure whether the ban will ever become a reality here.
I don't know, because the campus is incorporated with the city, which makes it difficult because obviously you're going to have people coming on campus, but I think that if it did succeed, that would be amazing.
People who smoke cigarettes who are not in college won't abide by it.
I think that it's a good way to, publicly deter people from making unhealthy choices. I don't think it'll pass, but I think enough people will protest against it.
Ultimately depends on the administration. The executive vice presidents of the college are currently reviewing the ban, and policymakers hope to reach a decision by the end of this semester. For MyCougarNews TV, this is Brittany Harris.
That's all for this edition of MyCougarNews. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.